interview on July 14th with Phyllis and Jeannie Carr. Well, how many years have you lived in this community, Phyllis and Jeannie?
I lived here probably about 40 years now. I have. Jeannie's lived here probably about...
I've lived here 36 years all my life.
Yeah. We were raised in this area, both of us.
When were you first introduced to gas drilling in your community?
Oh my, about 4 years ago.
About 4 years ago.
It was about 4 years ago. We didn't know anything about them. I mean, we just figured they'd come in, drill for gas. We knew it was natural gas, but we didn't know everything that was behind it. I mean, we just didn't know. I mean, they didn't even stop and tell us, well, this is what we're doing, this is how we do it, and, you know, they didn't. They just didn't. So we went 4 years without even realize what dangers they could be.
Never got a letter, never said
we never
what
got
he was
a letter.
putting in or nothing.
Who did you talk to about gas drilling? Was it your neighbor who has a gas well, or was it any type of industry representative?
No, actually, we was listening to talk sounds on WMBS, and he was telling us, that if people has been sick out there, let them know, because they know the people that's been sick, and then he found out where they were dumping into our waterways and how contaminated our waterways could be. And my daughter was sick. She was sick for a while, for like 6 or 7 months, and she still, doesn't feel well. She had the sore throat, the achiness, and I kept taking her to the doctor, and they kept telling me, they checked her for strep throat. I mean, they just put her through all kind of tests to try to figure out, and she didn't spend many days in school, because I had to keep either going and getting her, or she just didn't go at all. And they tried, and then they finally just told me, they said, we don't know what's wrong with her. We'll just treat her for allergies, because that's all we know, to treat her for it. And then when we heard that on WMBS, then that's when we called, and we started calling around, and then everybody started telling us, yes, these things can happen to you from that. Because we were stupid. We didn't know.
When did they first put the gas well in above your house?
The one that they put in above my house has been, I'd say, no more than 2 years ago.
Okay, and was that the first one they put it in the community?
I don't think so.
No, that wasn't the first one, no. I think that they had put the other 3 that's down from that one before that. And then they also had this compressor station in before they put that in. So they put the compressor station in even before they put this one up here behind me.
Okay. And there's one Marcellus well in behind us, and 3 of the shallow wells.
It's supposed to be shallow wells. Now I don't know for sure. I definitely know that one's a Marcellus, because they had the fracking ponds up there. I seen them.
So they put the Marcellus well in 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Approximately, yeah.
Do you have any complaints about how they put the well in, or any of the activity that was going on when they were putting the well in?
Well, I mean, I rode a pass there. I'd go up on a 4-wheeler and ride a pass there, and I would see them, up there, and I seen the water in there. I didn't go up close to it. I mean, it just was on a trail that we was riding a bike. And, I mean, I wouldn't have known if they were doing something illegal, because I didn't know. Like I said, at that time, I wouldn't even realize if they was doing something illegal. I wouldn't even realize it, or even knew, that much about them.
How long it was in there, I don't know. But there was
I'm not sure either how long
there
it was
was
in
another
there.
pond up where the second gate is, and it was about a football field long and wide. And I walked up there, and the water was like a crown green. But there was no
They didn't put no wells there.
filter, no plastic. I don't know what they call that. They put in those
liner?
ponds. Yeah, liner. There was no liner in it. And I called my township supervisor and I said, hey, you got to get that out of there, because my grandkids can't read signs. And they didn't have no danger signs either up. I said if they would get out of the yard and go in there and fall in there, we would never know it.
Well, they would have thought it was someplace to play.
Yeah.
Oh, look, this little swimming area. We can get here to swim.
They didn't have a fence around it?
No, they didn't have
no
a fence around that one.
Signs?
Not around that one.
No.
Because Mom called on that one, because we was afraid the kids would get up here and get into it.
And what they did with the water from it, there's a creek right down below it. I don't know what they did with the water that was in it, but it wasn't nice looking water.
And it wasn't lined?
No line. No.
You said there were two on top of the hill, right?
Yeah, one in behind the house here, and the other one was up at the second gate, where they put the wells at.
What did they do with the one behind the house that was lined?
I'm not for sure. I don't know. If I would have known what I know today, I would have kept all eyes up there. I mean, I would have watched them. I'm not sure up there, but
It's still wet there.
yeah. I mean, you can go up in there, and it's like last time I was up in there is like the day before whenever you come out, and I walked up in there. The grass is grown, but in places where they had the pond, it's still like you can see it coming up through the grass. And then down below there, you see them slicks and oil slicks and stuff laying in their puddles down there.
And the grass is orange.
Yeah, and there was some of the grass, a little bit of the grass was orange up in there, But no, I mean it. If I would have known, I would have kept my eye right on them.
And last time I was here, I saw liquid coming from behind your house, from the hillside behind your house. It looked like it had an oil slick on top of it. Would you describe it as the same liquid that was up next to the frac ponds?
I would have, because that sparked my interest whenever I had walked out there one day and the sun was out, and I come across there and that shined off there, and I was like, oh my goodness, that looks like there's oil slicks laying on that. And that's why I had walked up in there to see what was going on, to see if it had oil slicks where it could have been coming down over my property. And then sure enough, I found where it had oil slicks up there, and then I thought, I wonder if it's seeping down through the ground then.
And how close was that to your home?
I would say
it's about 250, 275.
Maybe 3 at the most, 300 feet. Maybe.
And what about the oil slicks coming out of the hillside? How close was that to your home?
Coming out of the hillside. Oh, you mean down here where I live? Oh, that's not far. That's about 10. You take 10 steps and you're there, or 5 or 10 steps and you're right there to it.
Did you notice any illegal activity that was going on when they were putting in any of the equipment?
Well, I do know that they brought a machine in. And I know this because when they brought the machine in, it wasn't real loud. And then, one night, we had woke up, and they were so loud that you couldn't even sleep in the house because they were right up here drilling. And me and Mom called them, and she's like, you've got to tell them to stop because we can't. It's been 2 nights now we haven't slept, because it was so loud. And here, what they had to do was they had to bring in special equipment to get down through that up, that Marcellus well they put in behind my house. Now, I don't know what kind of extra special equipment they had to bring in, but that's what the lady told us. That's why it was so loud.
Yeah, because he said to me, is that the noise I'm hearing now?
Yeah, because my mom held the phone out, and she's like, I want you to listen to, and I'm sitting in my house right now,